Hello, this is March 26th. This is the University of Minnesota Shotokan Karate Club, and you are welcome to train along. The session is live, and it's on Zoom, and it's being recorded for asynchronous training, so please come along. Line up! Talking about, nope, you go over there. It's highest to lowest rank. I was talking to somebody today about rituals, and there are many instructors, American, Western instructors, that trained in Japan or came up under very strict Japanese teachers, and as they move up, they discarded a whole bunch of the traditions, and what it kind of is trying to figure out what is good for learning and growth and security and consistency, and what is just kind of cultish or what's just not part of our culture that's part of the Japanese. It's an interesting little thing. But one of the things I keep is like the formal bow or the even informal bow at the beginning, because I think it helps put people in the right mindset. It makes them, it's a time to breathe and meditate. So we will start with that again.
Yeah.
Good. Say it loud, say it proud. Wait. Okay? Wrong foot. You lean forward too much. There is a wrong way to sit and stand and move. Sorry, it is. Didn't even make it up.
Looks up.
Lauren, when you are talking to people about facilities, see how that wall has a gap at the top?
Yes.
There's a corresponding gap at the bottom, because something's wrong with that one. It's bent. So you can see through this gap. We pushed it together as much as we could, me and the Taekwondo people. But he said he would probably mention it. But I figure if you do too, eventually enough people will hear it and they will try to fix it. You know what I'm talking about? The joint. Right. Yep. Oh. We have one foot. Hold on for ankle and toes. Switch. Way. Other foot. Other way. Feet together. On the knees. Other way. Apart. Run for hips. Other way. Use your legs. Pull your arms around. Switch. Way. Cross. Twist. You got your heels. Put one leg in front. Keep your back leg up. Hit your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Squat all the way down. Put your hands on the floor, straight your legs, squat, straighten, squat, straighten, and squat. Feet out behind you, arch. Breathe in deep through your nose, out through your mouth. And pushing back, touch your chest to the floor, stretch your shoulders, your back, your neck. Forward again. Feet in, butterfly. Keep it up, sorry. Stretching down and forward. And back, push your hips forward. Down. Back. Down. Back, reach over one shoulder. Switch. Side. Switch. Around. Into your torso. Switch other way. And stop. Straighten one leg. Switch. 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 Switch and drop down. Switch. 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 And switch. And the side rotate. All the way over. Stretch the outside of the hip. Back. Over. Back. Over. And back. Switch. All the way over. Switch the outside of the thigh. Back. Over. Back. Over. Back. Over. And back. Put your feet in. Starting. Pushing down, stretch your legs. Roll up. Round your hips. Switch. Side, side. Squeeze one knee up into your chest. Switch leg. Switch and hold. Grab your knee. Push this hip out. Roundhouse kick. Move this leg back forward a little bit. Stretch it around behind. Extend it in the back thrust. Tip your hip and snap. Other leg. Up. Grab your ankle. Push this hip out. Roundhouse. Stretch it a little bit. Around behind. Extend it to thrust. Tilt your hip and snap. Check out your legs. Turns to new ones. All right. In an attempt to expand your karate skills and your mental acumen, we're going to do something very simple and something frustratingly complicated, both at the same time, using basic kata. Could you and you switch places for a moment? Up, walk your hand. Yes! So that's a tradition in Japan, not just martial arts. In martial arts, you do it so somebody doesn't kick you or punch you by accident. You're running in front of them. But one guy was telling a story about when he first moved to Japan. He was looking at some stuff on the shelf because he had a hard time shopping in general, couldn't really read Japanese, and trying to figure out what it was. And this guy was coming down the line, and he thought, because he's much taller, I'll just step back so he can walk in front of me. He thought everybody walks behind, so they both ran into me. Right? So he thought, what an idiot, here I am, the American Clyde. So he goes down, looking down an aisle or two, same guy coming down the line. And he thought, okay, last time I screwed up, I'll fix it. So he stepped forward, the other guy thought the same thing, they ran into each other. So later he learned that just by tradition, you walk behind people, not in front of people. I always find it interesting. Okay, one step backwards, slightly in. We're going to start with Heian Shotokan. It's very simple. That's the comforting part of the class I'll tell you about. Out. Hands are on. Forward. Nice and easy to the count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hip. Next. Check out a little bit. I think we'll do it again as we're warming up. Here we go. Out. Hands up. Boy. Please pay attention to your hip position and your stances. So when you first step out, your hip has to be very much to the side. 1, 2, straight. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Keep your front knee bent, pivot, and do a knife hand block. 1, 2, 1, 2. And first. Okay, now for the part that strains your brain and is good for your general dexterity. It turns out, in karate, we like to say we use our whole body. Everybody knows that, yeah? Whole body. But if you analyze it, we don't use our whole body equally. The kata were made up primarily by right-handed people to defend against right-handed people. In the West, that's 85, 90, maybe even 95% of the people are right-handed, depending on what you count. Some people are a little more ambidextrous, they're more comfortable. In Japan, they would not let you be left-handed. You had to learn everything right-handed, even if that was not your natural thing. It's not unique to Japan. They just do that in England, and I think Russia doesn't. But in Japan, it was 99.9% of the people were right-handed, because only the most extreme left-handed people could be left-handed, and then they were not allowed to do a martial art like kendo, for instance. There's no such thing as left-handed sword, only right-handed. They would not teach it to you this way, only this way. So when you analyze the kata, there's a lot of things you do on one side that you never ever do on the other side. At the lower levels, it's not as pronounced. But as you advance through the kata and you get to the very advanced kata, it's really freaky. All the things you do on one side, you never realize you don't do on the other side. So since this one is so simple, we'll start with this. We call this a mirror image kata. Some people say it's a left-handed kata, but you do all the exact same moves in the same pattern, except instead of starting to your left, you're going to start to your right. Okay, so out, left hand, Shotokan. Boy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey! Hey. Okay, so see, that wasn't so bad. I mean, you know, it strains your brain just a little bit because, oh wait, we never did this turn before. But pretty much, it's the same on both sides. I was proud of everybody for remembering to do the right hand hammer fist strike. You probably thought that was a trick when you got it, so good job. I think the guy that put it in there as a trick. So let's do it again. We did two of the regular ones, we'll do two of the left-handed ones. Out. And Shotokan. Left hand. Wait. To your right. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Again, not bad. I see the hung is coming in. Where do you think we should put hung? I think we'll put him over there. Everybody take a giant step forward. That's good. And squish it just a tiny bit. Heian, you done? So for most of these, it won't make any difference to you at all because they're going to be just as awkward on one side as they are on the other side. You're going to be fine until we do the left-handed ones because the right-handed ones already get a little confused for you sometimes. I don't know if you like these ones. So I used to do these all the time because often I teach mirror image so people can follow me. And I thought it was fun and challenging and exciting. And one of my oldest students, by which I mean he's 83 years old, said he came to one of the special trainings on, I don't know, Thanksgiving or New Year's or something. He said, if we're going to do those left-handed kata again, I'm going to leave. It bothered him so much. He's been doing karate since 1961. He's got a pattern in his brain. He doesn't want to change the pattern. No! I found that so surprising. So we had to do something else. I didn't know it was causing him so much stress. So that's interesting. But in life, some people are like that. They can't handle change. I like it the way it is. So I was complaining once after I got a phone upgrade that they moved some of the buttons from the top to the bottom for no reason. It doesn't help. Why do they change things? And a friend of mine who's an engineer said, yeah, why do they change things? Two sticks rubbing together. That was plenty good. Why do we need all this other fancy stuff? His point was they keep trying to. He's right. But sometimes those improvements are not necessarily better. Let's over there, please. Yep, that's good. Move a step away from the wall. The other way. Yeah. All right, hand in. Out. Like that. One. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, There. Do it forwards again. There are two things in this kata, or three, depending on how you count, that we don't ever do on the left-hand side. So when we switch sides, it'll be a little weird. But this is still the regular order. Out, handy down. Yeah. Wait. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. All righty. Now it gets more interesting. This is Heian, left-handed. You missed 20 minutes of explanation about how to do this. So you'll just have to follow along. Out. And down. One. You right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Put your right foot in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No other kata. You do your left-handed straight. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1. Left. 2. 1. 2. So there are two dangers for people who know a bunch of kata. One is that the old pattern is really set, so that's what you want to do. And then when you switch sides, it matches a different kata. So you get halfway through and you'll switch into some other kata. Very bizarre. You get a back stance here, because that's what you do in the other places. But it's a front stance in this kata before we go like this. I can see you find it not that exciting so far.
I don't like it.
All right, here we go. But what if you're attacked by a left-handed person?
I have mace.
But some people do way worse. They do it backwards. They start with, I guess they start here. 1, 2, 3. I just think that's worthless. They do all the katas backwards. They lose. It's a memory exercise of sorts, but I don't see it as being any practical value. Where this actually has practical value, that it is certainly possible that this happens because they're attacked with the right side, and you might also have to do this because it's the left side. So, here we go, hands down again, left-handed. To your right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Your right foot comes across. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, I gotta say, the second time was way better. It looked less confusing, more comfortable. Hands on that. Out. Up. Up, boy. 1, 2. In and out with your footwork. 1, 2. Fire. Fire. Hands on that again. Up. Down. Forward. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leg up. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 5. 5. Fun. Hands on down left hand. Out. Forward. 2 right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, back stance. 2, front stance. 3, 4. 1. Left foot. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. In and out with your footwork. 1, 2. Well, that wasn't that bad. You're doing fine. If you can remember the pattern, like anytime you do 3-man pin blocks or rising blocks or whatever, and you make sure you do 3, it helps. Otherwise, you keep wanting to stop on the other side that you always do. Hands, then we only do it once, right? Left-handed. Hands on down, left-handed. Up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1. Left leg. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. In and out. 1, 2. So another, I know I already said when we attack my left-handed person, but there are many things in the kata that are somewhat of a unique skill. So this sequence, we go 1, 2, in, out, turn, most likely is a throw. If somebody punched with their right hand and right foot forward, and you block it. This punch didn't used to be a punch, it was more of a loosener, where you bend them in and out with your footwork, and the twist, and he comes with it. So that's great, but what if you only learn to do it on that one side? And it happens in an argument that, oh, you find yourself here. Oh, wait, I don't know how to do this side. Can you switch? No, you have to be able to do both sides. So the more you get the principle of how to do stuff, the way easier it is to switch, adapt, switch sides, switch hands. Rather than learn an individual technique. So one style, I used to have these magazine articles, oh, we have 126 different grappling moves. Learn 3 or 4 principles and then just adapt to what's there. So I once learned, sorry, going back again, gooseneck. So the deal with the gooseneck is you bend this, you trap this, and then you squeeze. You can't go anywhere. Some people are more flexible, less flexible, but great hold. I was grappling with this guy on the ground once who was a judo guy. They had me on the ground. I am not a good grappler on the ground. And there was his arm. And I went, oh yeah. Oh, but I tucked it in here. He's like, oh. So it was the first very clear, thank you, example. So I had been taught by somebody who said, learn the principle and then just apply it. But that was the first time where it went, that's what I did. I had only ever done that standing up in my whole life. And here I was laying on the ground and I cranked the guy's arm and it worked. So there are many things like that. Hey, man! This one we know, we all know, but it'll be fine. This one's really one-sided. And do that. Boy. One. Two. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, turn, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's the challenge. When you're doing it on your left-hand side, at first it's a mental struggle just to try to remember what move comes next and not screw it up. But a step beyond that is to actually train. Train, move, center, shot, punch, like you would regularly. So, see if you can catch it sometime when you're actually training. You're not just following along on the wrong side. Well, hand on that. This is still the correct one. What? I. You. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, here we go. Hand go down, left hand. Mirroring. Out. Up. Boy, so to get started, just how to make sure you go to the right. 1, 2. Nothing to it. Uh-oh, this way. 1, 2. Side step over. 1, 2. Hold it halfway. 1, 2. Now you never do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That was not quite right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, back stance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you found how'd you get it? You were on the wrong foot, maybe? Yeah. So you go like you go like that. No. Yeah. Then you kick with your left. Kick. That's your right. Kick with your left. Yep. So cross your ankles. And then turn. Oh, so much better. So phone to YouTube. The real most basic application of this, somebody throws a punch and you chop in the neck. It's like, it's a karate chop. Everybody knows. But what if they punch with the other side? You should be able to do that. It's not rocket science, but we never do. It's just a weird, When you get to advanced kata, go to Shiho. Show, it's in there. 1, 2, 1, 2, but not in the lower kata. Very weird. Great, we'll do it again. Maybe we'll go a little slower. Out. Hey, Nana.
Hey, Nana.
What? You're right. One. Ew. 1. Right. 2. Extends. Snap, side snap, elbow snap. 1, 2, 3. Halfway down. 1, 2, 3. I get this is weird. Prepare and hit with your left. 1, kick with your left. 2, 3, land on your left foot. Then turn and face that corner. 1, 2, kick, punch, punch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, extends. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the other thing we'll do, and there's actual dexterity tests in other things that say if you want to improve your right hand, you practice your left hand, and they teach each other how to do things. And a lot of things in karate we do by habit. We learned it last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You just always do it that way. So to go 1, 2, 3, it's like a course. Then you go 1, 2, 3. Now what do I do? That's not right. It's just not right. So you got to try to make them match. It'll make you pay more attention. This last time I noticed 1, 2, make a fist. 3, drive your knee in. Make sure I do that because sometimes here, I don't make my fist till halfway down. Well, that's not good. Grab and pull. Drive your knee with your hip. And you'll see lots of pictures and books. People doing it this way, but that's because that's how you coil the front kick. It's not a good way to do it this way. It's more like you're stabbing something with your knee, and you're also going to protect your shin. So if he's got his left leg in front, and throw a right-handed punch, and I block it. I'm going to knee him. If I coil this way, I'll run into his leg. If I coil this way, I'm fine. If I bump his knee, if he's got a way sticking out there, I'm like, owie, owie, owie. If I point this, it protects to a certain extent. It protects my shin. So Thai kickboxers generally kick that way if they know what they're doing. If they're kicking this way, they're going to eventually break it down with their own leg, in my opinion. Hand go down the normal way. But really, why be normal? I mean, is that something to strive for? I don't really think so. Ooh, what?
Are you encouraging us to start left-handed?
Well, certainly be more accepting of left-handed. Just because it's left-handed doesn't mean it's wrong. Well, it's not by definition right, it's left. Everybody knows left-handed are more creative, more intuitive anyway. Yeah? Everybody knows that. You feel more creative, more? Are you left-handed? Oh, I thought you clapped for left-handed people. You were just generally clapping for left-handed people. It's very supportive. She's an advocate. Out, hand go up. Put the normal way to your left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 4. Stab in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yep. There's. Is which part back sense? Yep. Yeah, so you have a habit of going 1, 2, which magically is the Okinawan way to do it. That's what they used to do. Then they got rid of the stance almost entirely, and they were left over with that. Again, the precision of paying attention to fancy stuff is going to do it for you. You okay? Hey, I'm gonna. Boy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1. Front stance. 2. Left stance. 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? Nice. Hand on left-handed. After the first little series, the whole rest of the kata is the wrong side. Out, hand on. Up, boy. To your right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is one of the hardest things to remember right here. Left leg forward. 1. Big wind up. 2, 3. Your right hand should be in front, even though it feels weird. 1, 2, 3. Left foot up. 1, 2, 3. Never, ever, ever do you do a crescent kick with your left foot. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. You're supposed to land on your left. Your right foot behind. Your other left. 1. Stab in. 1, 2, 3. Right heel, left ball of foot this way. 1, 2, 3. Right. Right. So there are lots of crescent kicks in kata. There might be 15 or 20 of them, and none of them are with your left foot. They're always with your right. So you may remember long ago, after we did 7 of these, we did 7 of these. And partially, that was because we never practiced this side. I didn't want it to feel so weird for people. Any questions about anything going on left-handed? Great! Let's do it one more time. We'll be pretty great. Out. And on. Away. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, land your left foot. 3, step. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey. Rest. Do you have an advanced kata that you're trying on your right and your left? Or not right? Alright. 5 hands the correct way. And then we'll take a break. We'll just take 4 minutes. Well, hands go down the normal way. Okay, go down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Right. And we're done. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hands on none. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, ew. 1, 2. Right? And you done? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. I rest for a moment. We're about to do Heian Shotokan. I want you to key eye on each move. Good spirit. Each move all the way through. Ready? Out. Hands on. One. Everybody get some water or leave. You staying? Are you staying, John Noel?
Yes.
Okay.
I enjoy
Okay, here we go. We're going to work on the basics for 4th Q for the Shuhari Institute. They're very similar to the what used to be the ITKF Nishiyama group basics. So keep going out, second position. you already know that your test is just three rising blocks, three downward blocks, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you don't have to remember what they are. You remember what it was like. So theirs is just more complicated. So just follow along the best you can. Left leg forward, get it back. 8. Step forward, triple punch. One head, 2 step. 1, 2. Get more pressure into your back leg. Close. It just feels a little like it's not like 3, 4. Just a little harder. 5. Moving backward. Rising block counter punch. 1, twist punch. 2. So don't just twist your hip. Imagine that you're hitting something with your hip. Go a little more forward on the inside. 3. Forward. Better. 4. Nope, that's how it just wiggles. 5. Better. Moving forward, outside block, elbow strike, back to strike. 1. Nope. 1, 2. 2. 3. 4. 5. We're going to work on this one again. So John Noel, back up. Everybody else turn around. To the Kata. Outside block first. Make sure that you coil up high. You twist your hip and block. 1. In and out with your footwork. Elbow strike. 2. Hold it up. Down more. Hold on to the line. Down, down, down. So this is still way off. Way. Ooh, better. Get it now. Then use your legs. Back twist. 3. Good. 1. There. More. You're a little crooked. Good forward. 2. In and out. Too much sideways. 3. 1. John Noel, go back. Everybody go back a step. Coil up high. 1. Then twist your hip. 2. A little lower with your elbow. Yep. 3. In and out. Shoulder down. 4. 2 stiff in your shoulder. Shoulder soft. Your hip goes. Snap. All right. So the reason I made you do it over is I want you to be solid and stable when you move. And you move, this is out, this is up, this is kind of, and then you wiggle. So everybody go this far. 1. Good. Twist. 2. Lower elbow. 3. In and out. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no 4. Turn. And some of them do 4. Honest, it didn't make it up. All right, 1 count moving forward. Outside block, elbow straight, back to straight. Don't rush though. Picture, yeah, okay. Ready? 1. Block. Straight. 2, 3, 4, Continuing backwards, inside block, counter punch. 1. Yep, the one, and doesn't matter. So this one would go in here, and then you punch. Punch, yep. Now the one that's out is going to go underneath and twist. 2. Yep, and then punch. Then punch. 3. 4. 5. 1 more somehow. I got it wrong. 6. Okay, we're going to practice this moving forwards and backwards again. We've talked about this before, but I want you to pay attention to your elbow. So your elbow doesn't move enough. It's just hanging out there, and then you try to block. Some of the rest of you, your body is out of position, and then you block. So your body stays straight during this part. Your elbow, if it comes across, it bounces back. So it's going to bounce. Bounce, go. Twist. Bounce, go. Elbow should move across and then out. Okay, try it this way. See if you can start this way, I guess, because that's what you have to do. Let your elbow come across and block. 1. And then counter punch. 2. And your arm bounces. 1. Bounce. A little straighter. 2. 1. You have to coil sooner. 2. 1. 2. 1. That's pretty darn good. 2. Backwards. 1. 2. 1. 2. Continuing backwards, 1 count, block counter. 1. Relax your shoulder. 2. 3. 4. Hurry up, please, a second. Check out your legs. Remember when you punch, sometimes you lock your elbow up way too much still. I was going to do a warm-up set to try to fix that tonight. So sometimes, when I first started teaching, I used to spend a whole week planning my class, outlining it, trying to figure out how to make it smoothly go from place to place. And the only problem with that was I'd have way too much stuff to fit into my hour or 45-minute class, whatever it was. And the second one is I would stick to that outline no matter what. So if people weren't getting it, if people were too tired, I would still make them do it. And then I learned that, well, no, you have to adapt it to how it's going over. Who shows up? All higher belts, all lower belts, whatever. But I still kind of used an outline because I had some ideas I wanted to get to, and it's way too easy for me to get way off one side. So I have many, many sequences in my brain that I tend to use a lot over and over again. Some of you might notice, like, oh God, I'm doing this again. But people tell me it's not often enough that they feel like that. They feel like it's always something different. But to me, a lot of times it's the same thing. And what I do that's way different is I adapt it to who's over here or what their particular problem is. So in the old outline, I might have started the whole class working on how to get people to move their elbows. And this time I didn't mention it until it was a problem, and then we worked on it a little bit. So when I show up and teach, though, I often have something in my mind of things I want to do, like that warm-up sequence. But then today there was nobody here. We had 1 or 2. Was it just you and Lauren? Or no, you came first. I don't know. But either way, I didn't know who was going to end up coming. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time working on black belt tests if it was only YouTube, which is great if it's YouTube, but I wanted to do something that was appropriate. Like now, we're working on the history test, history test. So sometimes I get off track a bit, or sometimes like today, I forgot to do the sequence, but it won't matter if I wait and do it Monday or next week or whenever. Knife hand block, back stance. Right? Moving forward to warm up, just knife hand block. 1, coil block. Drop the front hip a little bit. 2, 3, 4. Bring your front foot straighter. 5. Backwards. 1. Head up. 2. 3. 4. 5. Moving forward, knife hand block, front kick with your front leg, spear head strike. 1. Block, kick, strike. A little more wide. 2. Twist your hip more, not that. 3. 4. 5. So the last 3, your front hip was up like this every time you block. So fix it. Moving backward. 1. Back stance. Front hip. That was very, very good. 2. 3. 4. 5. Yep. And maybe you did this before, but your hand coils on top on these. You went underneath. Yep. So, yeah, you probably did fine until I started watching you. That's how it goes. Fighting position. Front snap kick, front leg, back leg. Ready? And your legs. 1. That's not your front leg. No, you were doing right. You just had this moment of indecision when you did it wrong. 2. Front leg, back leg. Don't use your head, don't use your shoulders. Swing your hip and keep your knee up. 3. Snap, snap. Much better. And your legs. 4. 5. Turn. 1. Head again. 2. 3. Pretty good again. So sometimes when you're not thinking about it, you really jerk your head and shoulders. Like that. 4. 5. Third. Same thing roundhouse kicks. Front leg, back leg. 1. 2. 3. Relax and use your legs. 4. 5. That was better. Turn. 1. Round. You. 3. 4. No, that one's really bad. 5. So when you kick with your right leg, oh no, one of them is pretty good. That one's not too good. The other leg. That's okay, but not great. So pick your knee up and then pick your knee up. Do that. Side kick crossing behind. 1. Beautiful. 2. 3. 3, 4, 5, turn, nice. 1, 2, 3, make sure you finish your thrust. 4, with your heel. 5, turn, front fighting position. This is a simple spinning back thrust kick. So you're going to turn your front foot and kick with your back leg. Yep, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn. Front leg front kick, back leg roundhouse kick, counter punch. Mai-giri, Mwashigiri, Gaku. 1, front kick, roundhouse kick, punch. 2, front, round. 3. Good, John Noel. 4. 5. Turn it up. Alright. So, everybody, but especially John Noel, try not to wind up. So, if your hand is here, and you're doing front kick, roundhouse kick, and now you're supposed to punch, do not put it here first and then punch. You did that a couple times. And if you don't do it that big, it's still too big because it slows your punch down and puts it out of sequence. You want your hip and your hand to be hitting at the same time, and if you wrap your hand up, it always hits late. So if this hand is forward, it says forward, forward, go! Pow! Instead of throws it off towards the target, no wind up and then go. That was one thing I noticed. Can you move up here a little bit, turn around and face that way? And you can do any combination you want that ends up in a counter punch. So you can do the front kick, roundhouse kick punch if you want. So your left leg in front. You go 1, kick, round, punch, stay. So that's not bad, right? Don't move. Can you see yourself in the mirror? Look from your center to your front leg. When I pull this way, it's off balance. Can you see it? So you got to figure out how that leg is better. So there's only so far you can crank without losing. There you go. So that's right from your center down your leg. You can feel it? Pretty good. Very good. Continue forward. 1, kick, punch. Uh-oh. Now you got the same leg going, but it'll still illustrate the problem. That is pretty darn good. And this is closer, but still not quite. So you should be able to see it. What you want is pressure down the middle of your thigh toward your center, this way. And what you do is this way, where it's weak. So it won't move in as much as you're moving it. It might not feel as big as what you think. Switch feet once so you have your whatever foot in front. Yeah, that'll work. So you're going to front kick with your front leg. Uh-oh, do it again. Better. Hey, let's not stay there. So it took you a second, but that's way more stable. So can everybody kind of see that? I mean, that's kind of like color. It comes up in a weird time. And the thing I gotta emphasize is it's not this is a front stance. You could be doing a hung back stance if you don't happen to know where your knees are in, your feet are turned. And it's still the same thing. That's not a bad position. And you still got pressure here, and you still got pressure here. As long as it goes from your center through the middle to your foot. But if you screw up that lineage, like putting your knees in too much muscle tension in the wrong place, that's when I pull on you a little bit and you fall over. Alrighty. Let's see what else is on this test. I know, we all know, that Heian is on there. And we might work on that. But let's try this kumite with a pretend partner. Step and punch Jodan, step and punch Chudan, front kick Chudan, roundhouse kick Chudan. And then they want you to do shifting a jab to the head and shifting a counter punch for the body. It's only like 6 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It used to be only standing. This is all you would do until you got into brown belt. And then maybe you moved from here, but then it was always 1 step. And even at Shotokan, it was 1 step. So it wasn't any free sparring. And the group in general just decided that they wanted people to be more comfortable with the kumite positions and concepts. So they started to introduce them earlier. And some of the combinations or some of the test requirements kept getting longer and longer. But anyway, we need a defense for somebody stepping in to punch. You're just standing. Just understanding. So they step and punch for my face, and let me be an attacker for a second. Try this one. So what I generally don't want to do is there is an assumption here that that's his attack position. As a defender, it's my job to set the distance. I think from about here, if he step and punches, I'm going to be okay. He step and punch. He probably hit me, but I feel like I can deal with it. If I didn't feel like that, give him a little more room just to give me more time. And go back. This feels way safer. Ooh, this is about where you get me again. And go back. This is too close. He's just going to hit me. Right? He wouldn't even want to step pretty soon. He'll just counter punch. So I have to set the distance. And then I want to pick a defense that is representative of Shotokan, representative of your skill, and will help you build. So I enjoy defenses that transfer to kumite rather than something that only works if we start like this and only works if he steps. So also, he has an advantage here of being in like a starting position. So if he starts, because he says Jodan. Oh, wait. He says Jodan. I say hi, he starts. I shouldn't want to step in and catch him. Because I have a bad starting position. It's not that it's not possible, it's just not a good theory of defense when he has the advantage. If we were both here, that's a different deal. Now I've got the same advantage he does. But if you're just standing there and somebody else is already set to go, don't step forward generally. It's not always true. I don't want to flash. So he step and punches, I don't want to go. I mostly want to move. Go back again. He step and punches, I might want to go, oh, look, he punched over there and over here. That might be my defense. And that might transfer into maybe he step and punches, we're both here, I might go, oh, it's the same defense, or he might counter punch. But I can keep the same dynamic from standing or sitting. So we're just going to do this a few times. It'll be 1 head, 1 stomach, 1 front kick, 1 roundhouse kick, a jab, and a counter punch from fighting. So now go over here. The idea here is going to be, I guess we'll make it slightly more complicated. He's going to step and punch to my head, I'm going to shift over here. So we're going to go 1, and go in pressure here, and knees out. So I'm going to roundhouse it. And then a punch. see where he is? So imagine that in your head. Ready? You stand here. You're going to shift off to your left, off to your right. 1, down, 2, roundhouse kick punch. Back. 1, 2. Back. 1, 2. Now, this is often taught this way, but I don't want you to really leave your knee there. It's just generally a bad habit. So the transfer goes like this, but then I'm bringing this leg with me. I'm not leaving it there. And the other thing I got to tell you, just because it matters for self-defense, is if he's doing a step and punch, and my idea is a basic knife hand block. 1, coil, block. That's my idea. But he's way faster than I think. I'm still going to go 1, coil, block. I blocked him twice. In case he catches me, 1, just in case. So what if I'm shifting over here, I'm shifting over there, and he's tracking me. We go 1, 2, still covered. But if he's aiming over there before I even start, go the other way. So he was cheating a little bit. But some people do that, but on purpose or by accident. One more time. Try 1 count. Shift it, go. You just remember this left arm might be covering before you kick. 1, block, kick, punch. Back. 2, block, kick, punch. Even more laid out and more sided with your kick. Yes. 3. Thought you could tell from the excellent example. Oh, no, it might have been a crappy guy. Now we're running out of time. All right. Do this move with Kia and punch. Ready? Kick, punch. Back. Those are excellent stances. Since I pulled on you, those are excellent. Back. Just finish twisting your hip. Still not inside. Finish. Yep, you need that. Back. Good. Back. Done well. After the block, you can't let your hand drop when you kick. Leave it up there where the guy's arm is. Yep. Fires. So this stance problem has been bugging me for a couple weeks because you do technically everything right and something's weak, and I didn't know how to tell you because it's not like you're not pushing, it's not like you're not trying. It's a balance of muscle, especially on the front leg, with both legs. And it was fantastic on the sequence you just did now. So it kind of went from going 1, 2, 3, where it's so twisted, to 1, 2, 3. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. God, you look stable. So keep feeling that all the time. I don't know why you stop before you hit something, but you do kind of consistently. And it comes and goes, depends on the problem. So you did awesome. You always do well, but you need to come more if you want to improve. Because I feel like you're inconsistent, but sometimes I don't see you very often. So I think that's part of it. But I don't want to pick at you, but I want you to come. So if you can only come once a week, because that's the way life is, that's what we got to do. It is confusing in life, but especially in school. People have lots of things, responsibilities, schedules. You got to find a balance. And if that balance means you got to start skipping karate, I'm fine with that. I wish you wouldn't, but your grades are more important, your jobs are more important, your family is more important. You could cut all that stuff and train them. But Anyway, I want karate should enhance your life, make it calmer, more fun. It shouldn't be a hindrance. Oh, I can't go to class, I can't go on that trip, I can't because I have to go to karate. Well, no, sign up for it, take the class. Don't worry about it if it conflicts. Go on the trip, who cares? You hopefully have a lifetime of training. The only counter to that is sometimes you get building, and you should stay with that because you really gain a lot of skill and knowledge. And if you get sidetracked, sometimes it never quite comes back. I know people that were awesome, that took a few years off because their life required it. They came back and they just couldn't do it again. They lost the interest, they lost the zip. Anyway, thank you all for training. Class dismissed. Bob and John over there. Hey, John.
Hi, everyone.
All right, see everybody on Monday.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Oh, you fun.